Ladies and gentlemen, ghouls and goblins, it's the time you've been waiting for and the time you've been dreading. So get ready, because sleep will no longer exist. We welcome you into the world of October series. You should have done it like a scream. Yeah. Let's try again. Of October series. That was terrible.
Do we go?
No, we're going to keep it.
We're done.
We're keeping it all in. We're done. We're here. Michaela's already
God.
playing the music.
Today's episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Halloween lets us have fun with what scares us, but what about those fears that don't involve zombies and ghosts? Therapy is a great tool for facing your fears and finding ways to overcome them, because sometimes the scariest thing is not facing our fears in the first place and holding ourselves back. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited for your schedule. All you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and this is mine and Taryn's favorite part. You can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. We firmly believe that sometimes it takes a few tries before you find someone that you click with, and you have to have that click in order to really benefit from therapy. So we love that BetterHelp makes that easy and at no additional charge. Overcome your fears with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/unsolicited today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/unsolicited. What is up, UA listeners? Ashley here with some super exciting news. October series is here. Like, she's here. And Tara and I could not be more excited. Obviously, we could not do this spooky series without your guys' spooky stories. So do me a favor, and if you have a scary story, or if you know someone that has a scary story, send them in now. Be sure to include all of the spooky details, and yours could be chosen to read on the podcast this month. Also, if you just live for spooky season like Taryn and I do, then you have to subscribe to our Supercast account, where we will be doing scary stories all month long. That means you'll be getting 2 episodes every week for the entire month of October, and of course they will all be spooky stories. Totally worth the $5 if you ask me. So subscribe to our Supercast today and send in your stories now. I love this. I love that song. Anyways, hi everyone.
Hello.
Happy October series 2024. This is our 5th? Is it in line with our years?
Yeah. Did we do the first year fully October?
Now I'm questioning.
I don't remember.
know.
I think so.
I think we did.
Yeah.
I want to say yes.
Sounds like us.
So this would be our 5th October series, which is crazy.
That's crazy.
Taryn and I were just talking about our favorite ones, and part of me is like, do we do like a bonus episode or a random episode at some point where we just do like our re-listen?
We should, because we should take mine and yours and just put them into one episode.
And
that'd be
just,
interesting.
we re-listened. What if we did a re-listen and react? That'd be funny.
That would be funny. We should do that like on YouTube. That'd be funny.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, because if you guys are wondering, I've said this so almost every October series since this story. I've talked about this one.
Yeah.
And I'm not even joking. Like, literally on the last date I went on, I was talking about October series and I talked about this story. Like, anytime people are like, what's a scary story? I'm like, the girl in the keyhole.
The girl in the keyhole. Yeah.
Dude, the twists at the end.
So many twists.
Will forever give me chills.
So many turns.
I got chills.
Taryn just threw her sleeve up.
I got chills just thinking about it. What about you?
Mine
Cornfield?
is the cornfield party in Iowa.
The cornfield one. That
wasn't
one,
scary.
It's not scary, but it made you. It like broke your brain.
Yeah. It was a brain breaker.
Yeah.
And it was one of those where like the whole time you're just and then by the end you're just like, what?
You're just like, what
just happened? It's crazy. So I feel like every time I have to do like a little bit of like a little like breakdown of like, Taryn and I don't love scary things, but also love scary things. Like, I think that's something that we both connected on when we first became friends, was it was like, I love Halloween. I love scary stories, but also I physically can't handle them. Like my body just kind of like freaks out, and then I can't shake it at night, and I end up with a nightmare. Like,
we love it. We love to hear the stories. We love to hear about it. We love our true crime, but we also are genuinely terrified and like, like don't function well. Like I've never been to a Halloween horror night maze thing. I know I couldn't handle it.
I love them, but then have to close my eyes the entire time during the maze, and like someone has to push me because I can't look. It's so scary.
I was just talking about this the other day, but I've only been in one maze, and it was I took the girls that I nannied to Universal Studios, and you know how year round they have the one maze, the one scary maze. That's like literally like kittens compared to like horror nights. And so the girls were like, let's go in it. It's not even scary. Like, let's go through it. And so I was like, okay. So mind you, I'm responsible for these children, right? Like they're like children.
Yeah.
We go in, I make it let's say like 20 seconds before the first person jumps out.
Yeah.
I push the little girl, run through the emergency exit. So the alarm's going off, and then I'm outside, and then I realize that I just left the children in there.
Yeah.
And then I'm like freaking out trying to get back to them. And let's say they asked us to like politely not re-enter.
Yeah.
But that's my only experience with it. So I just know, unless I'm dating this like giant man that I can literally somehow go into.
I mean, I feel like that's how it's always been. You go with a guy, and then they cover you, and then you don't have to look, and then they can literally carry you out through the maze.
I'll have my eyes closed, and I'll be singing "Open the Eyes of My Heart, Lord" with my ears plugged.
No, 100%. Ellen, when she used to do her
with
haunted
Andy.
mazes with Andy, those YouTube videos killed me.
Every season I watched those like all the way through.
So hilarious.
The Ariana Grande one was so good.
Yeah.
What was the other one? There was one other one that killed me.
I'm trying to picture
too. Kevin Hart's was really funny, but I think all the ones with Andy are just like hilarious. So good.
His reactions were just so amazing. So
average Andy videos in general just like get me going.
I missed that. That stuff was hilarious. But yeah, it is spooky season. Spooky season is here, and we are here to make it feel even spookier. So grab your popcorn, light a candle, dim the lights, or if you're driving, heads up, keep your eyes on the road. But should we start?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely should get it. I know I literally brought a blanket today, and I'm like cozied up because let me tell you guys, this story broke me already, and I am so scared to read it again.
To hear it.
No, it's to the point where I'm like, I hope she's making this up, because if this really happened to a person, I'm not well.
That would be terrifying.
And then also, just side note, if you're not subscribed to Supercast, if you love Halloween series, if you love our October series, this is the time. Even if you just do it for this month, which I know like we shouldn't say that. You should always do it. Yeah. But even if you it's literally $5, and they already got an episode. So they're already one episode ahead of us. Yeah. And every week.
It's $5 for 5 stories.
Pretty much. So you should definitely check it out.
Well, 5 episodes.
We continue doing sporadic scary stories through the year on Supercast. So just a little plug.
All the Supercasters love the scary stories.
Supercasters. Yeah. Do you have a spooky tearing it up for us?
I do. I sure do.
I'm scared.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. This one is titled A Spooky Tearing It Up.
We love it.
We love it. So for those of you who don't know, we still continue the Tearing It Ups. They're like spooky themed, but they're still funny. So
yeah. Or it's like you were really scared, but then it ended up being like you thought a murder was in the house, but it was like a raccoon that got let in. It's like that kind of twist.
Something like that. Yeah. All right, let's dive in. Hello, Ashley and Taryn. I am a big fan of the pod, especially the October series, and I have re-listened to almost all of them. I should listen to one today.
Honestly, I should.
To get me back in the zone.
I need to too.
You should listen to the Keyhole one.
No. Heck no. Never again. Just it replaying in my mind. But you know what I would like to watch? Because I didn't get the scariest part until I reread it live. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So I would like to watch that realization happen again because I feel like that was hilarious.
Yeah, that'd be really when you were like, wait.
The actual twist that brings everything together and makes it horrifying. I fully skipped over until I reread it and we were like talking about it. And then I was like, wait, it's a ride?
All right, let's dive in. I feel like I've started this like 5 times.
I know. We're like kids like in a candy store. We're so excited.
Okay. She continues, my name is Julie, and yes, you can say my name. I didn't really know how to categorize this story, but I'm sending it anyways, because why not? I sent this in last year, but I don't know if you guys saw it. Probably not. It was probably buried. I'm so sorry, but we picked it. I picked it.
And the one I'm reading today is from last year, too.
Is it really? Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Y'all need to get on it this year.
Yeah.
Send your stories in.
Step up.
Come on.
She continues, I still think it's a pretty funny story, so here we go. I was headed to work one night at my job, which was an overnight stalking job, and I have been working there for a couple of weeks. And I liked that job only because I didn't have to deal with people that much. But later, starting my lunch break at 2 a.m., I headed out to my truck. And as I go to open the door, there was a bouquet of flowers inside my car on my armrest. My car was locked. I was so scared because they weren't there when I left to go into work, which means someone literally had to open up my truck and put them in there.
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
I was scared getting into my truck because I thought someone had hijacked the truck or someone was going to kidnap me or something worse and was using the flowers as a distraction. I started looking all over the place, all over the parking lot, hoping someone didn't jump out to hurt me. And there was a story that you guys read in October series of 2022 that I had been listening to recently.
Oh my gosh. The person that was in the backseat and the guy pulls her over and is like, someone's in your backseat.
Yes.
That is another one I think about frequently.
I said that story camping once because one of my boyfriend's favorite things to do is tell everyone that I do a scary segment in my podcast. And for whatever reason, I think I just read that one. So it was like fresh in my head. And I read that, or I said it while we were camping. Everyone was like,
dude, so scary.
Yeah. I think about that all the time whenever I go in my car at night. So honestly, good on you for thinking that far ahead. But anyway, she said she had been listening to that episode recently and thought someone was going to jump out at her. After a minute of being hyper aware and no one around, I got in the truck and locked the doors, immediately looking behind the seat, under the seat, making sure no one was behind my seat getting ready to choke me. But all was clear. And that's when I saw a card. So I grabbed the card and I read it. And I can't find it now, but it said something along the lines of, you are special, and I don't want you to think that you're not, Dad.
Not the parents' spare key. Is that what happened?
Apparently, my dad brought me a bouquet of flowers and placed it in my truck. She adds in parentheses, it is his truck. And he lets me use it when I need to. So he always has a key. And he did that day get my mom a bouquet of flowers and took them to her. And apparently wanted me to feel special too. Dad. And so my dad surprised me with flowers in that way because he was sleeping and couldn't hand them to me because she works the late shift. Although waiting until morning to hand them to me wouldn't have been as traumatizing. So that was my little story on how I thought I was going to get kidnapped, but it was only my dad doing a very nice thing.
Oh my gosh.
If this made it to the podcast, it would be the coolest. You guys are amazing, and I will be tuning in every Monday this month.
Heck yeah.
Thanks, Julie. Thanks for sharing. What a great dad.
No, so sweet.
So kind.
But I can imagine her opening the card thinking it's going to be like, I'm watching you, and it's like, you are special, you are special.
Some sinister note written in blood, for sure. Oh, man. That's so sweet, though. Your dad's so kind. Today's episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Halloween lets us have fun with what scares us, but what about those fears that don't involve zombies and ghosts? Therapy is a great tool for facing your fears and finding ways to overcome them, because sometimes the scariest thing is not facing our fears in the first place and holding ourselves back. As you guys know, Taryn and I are huge advocates of therapy. It has tremendously changed both of our lives, and we constantly try to tell you guys to do it. I think a common misconception is thinking that you have to have gone through some kind of major trauma in order to qualify for having therapy, but that is so not the case. Therapy is so helpful for learning positive coping skills, how to set boundaries, and it empowers you to be the best version of yourself. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited for your schedule. All you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and this is mine and Taryn's favorite part. You can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. We firmly believe that sometimes it takes a few tries before you find someone that you click with, and you have to have that click in order to really benefit from therapy. So we love that BetterHelp makes that easy and at no additional charge. Overcome your fears with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/unsolicited today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/unsolicited.
Crap, it's my turn.
Your turn, Taryn.
Maybe it won't be as scary because it's daytime. I did read this at night.
What a rookie mistake.
But there was one part of the story where I went and put my phone down and was like, I need a second.
Literally last night as I was going to bed, I knew I had to pull out stories for today. And I thought of it and I was like, I will never do that to myself again.
Yeah.
So
nope. It's not
especially because Alicia's in Vegas. So I'm by myself. I'm like, nope.
Okay.
I'm scared.
Are you ready?
I am.
I wish I wasn't reading this so I could just sit back and
do what I'm doing right now. I'm so excited.
I might cry. Okay. Hi, Ashley and Taryn.
Hey.
It's October series. I'm so excited. Anyways, my name is Zena, and you can say my name.
Ooh.
Isn't that a cool name? Xena.
Yes.
Warrior Princess, right? What was that show? Xenon. No?
I was like, I don't know where you're going with it. Xenon Girl of the 21st Century. Similar.
No, it wasn't Xena. It was she had the leather. She was like a warrior. Anyways, we're getting off. Me just trying to distract from having to read this.
Just prolong it.
I know. I am a transgender listener, and this is my favorite podcast. And because of you girls, Mondays are my favorite day.
Seriously?
Honestly, that's what we were trying to do is Mondays suck.
Right.
So we're just trying to make Mondays a little better.
That genuinely was our intention in picking Mondays for upload days.
Yep. Funny story, my dentist recommended your podcast to me last year in October, and I listened to the 2022 October series and fell in love and listened to episode 1 to present in 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
I was going to submit the story last year, but ran out of time. I wish this was a dream.
Wait, that's funny because my Tearing It Up mentioned a 2022 October series.
Yeah, and then they wrote 2023, and then now we're reading it in 2024.
Crazy.
So you never know. Your story might make
Once
its way.
it's in the pot.
You never know.
It's in the pot.
No, what it is we hired Mandy, who actually went through our inbox and brought them to light.
Brought them back. Yeah.
Okay. This story is titled The Man in Black.
Hate it.
Michaela, cue the music. Okay. Last year, 2022, on the, you'll never believe it, 13th of October, of course.
Wait, do we have one of those this year? I think we do. Or last Friday.
No, yeah, I got a tattoo on Friday. Tattoo.
On
Friday the 13th.
I got a tattoo.
Anyways, I was on the bus home from school like normal. I had to get on the first bus and go downtown to get to another bus. But today was strange because the second bus was empty. This was strange because it was usually packed. I just moved to the back of the bus because it was empty and I felt safe enough to do so. Plus, it was really cold and the back of the bus was the warmest. We left downtown and made our way towards my home. On the third stop, a man dressed in all black with dark glasses and a face cover got on the bus. I immediately got a bad feeling, but shrugged it off because people like this ride the bus all the time. The driver started driving, and the man started walking towards the back of the bus and sat right next to me.
No.
Despite every other seat being empty.
No.
So I got up immediately, grabbed my stuff, and said, "What the hell, man?"
Yeah.
As all of the other seats were empty, and moved towards the front of the bus and sat down right by the front door. After a few minutes, the man gets up, moves, and sits right next to me. I hate him.
Oh my God.
No, it's not even.
What do you do?
It's not even the scary part yet. Look at your eyes.
What do you do?
It's not even the scary part yet.
That's so uncomfortable.
Okay.
Clearly, he's a sociopath.
Yeah. Again, I got up with my stuff, went right to the driver, and asked him to remove the man in black from the bus.
I love you. I'm so glad.
Yes.
I don't even know if I could speak.
Yes. The driver stopped the bus and kicked the man off.
Oh, good.
A few minutes later, I got off the bus and started walking towards my house. But something in my gut or brain told me not to go home and to walk faster. I knew I was being watched. So I pulled out my phone and turned on the front-facing camera and pretended I was checking my reflection.
Oh my God, I love you. You're so
and
smart.
sure enough, the man I saw on the bus was 10 yards behind me, following me.
Oh my God, my legs have chills.
Okay.
Wait, so was he sprinting? Like, how did he get over there so fast?
I don't know how evil works, okay? I don't know.
How do you do that?
I started walking even faster and ran to the busy road, but not a single car in sight. At this point, I was basically jogging and I could hear footsteps behind me. Then I realized that there was an alleyway in front of me. When I reached the alleyway, I started full out sprinting down the alley and jumped over my backyard fence, ran inside, slammed the door, and locked it. Now, for some context, my house was weird because the back door leading into the laundry room had a peephole. Usually, I'm home alone for an hour before my mom and sister get home. Once I calmed down, I looked out the peephole and see the man. I'm going to throw up. I hate this. Wait, I lost my spot. I can't see. Okay. I see the man standing perfectly still 3 feet from the door. Imagine going to look and just, no.
So he literally got kicked off the bus, sprinted to catch up to, did he know where she lived? Like, how did he?
Well, she said she was only on the bus for a few minutes.
But like, he doesn't know that.
No, so he probably just followed the bus.
Yeah. Jumps the fence after her?
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's clearly trying to kill you.
The fear paralyzed my body as the man walked slowly towards the door and reached and started to turn the handle. He said in a playful voice, but the kind of voice that would be in a horror movie, "I know you're there.
Ooh.
Let me in." I suddenly got a rush of courage and yelled, "I'm armed." She puts in parentheses, "I am not." And kicked the washing machine. He jumped and ran off. I immediately called the cops.
Smart.
But less than a minute later, I hear a slam at the front door. I immediately run into the kitchen, grab the biggest knife I could find, and move towards the door.
Atta girl.
When I turn the corner, he's not standing outside, but inside, and the door is hanging from its hinges.
Did he body slam the door open?
This fool hulked out and said, "I'm here." Through the door is hanging and he's standing. Imagine turning and you think like, oh, he's just pounding on the door, but he's inside and the door is hanging. He has to be. What kind of drugs make you do that? Something?
Oh, speed.
Speed. She's like, Ritalin? Oh, gosh. Okay. Sweating. Okay. He was standing there silently looking at me, and as he took a step towards me, a cascade of the sound of sirens came from the front of the house.
Oh, thank God. What
The
a
man
creep.
stopped, turned around, and walked outside. 4 policemen in riot gear grabbed the man and put him in handcuffs. I walked towards the front porch and saw 4 patrol cars and a SWAT truck. And before the police put the man in the back of the cruiser, he turned and said, "I'll get you next time."
Ew. Why? What is wrong with him?
And then got in the car without a fight. Our family moved out of the house a month later. I don't know what the man's intentions were, but I knew they were not good. I also don't take the bus anymore and drive myself to school.
100%.
I hope you read my story on the pod, but if not, no biggie. Hope you enjoyed my story, The Man in Black. P.S. I have many more scary stories, but I'll save those for next year.
Girl, send them
Sincerely, Zena.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you, locked doors don't protect you. Moving vehicles don't protect you.
I'm trying to think of like, okay, if I was in her shoes, like what could have been done differently? And I guess the only thing because you immediately want to run home for safety, but if no one's there.
But she said also like
the street was empty.
The street's empty, so she felt like there was nowhere to go.
So it's like almost like the bus was like, stay on the bus, but like you didn't know he was following you. So there's really like I always try to like find like what I could have done different. I don't think I could have done anything different.
And they always say like you like confront the person, like you look them in their eyes and you're like, hey, like stop following me, because sometimes that'll jar someone enough to whatever.
Yeah.
But this guy, he did burst
not
through
care.
a door.
He had the worst intentions. He clearly like inhuman speed caught up to the bus, followed you all the way down, leaped over the fence, had the audacity to like try to open the door, say that creep, knock your front door in. Like that's worst possible intentions. This guy's nuts.
And the way he was just so chill, like just got in the cop car, like just so chill, that makes it even more scary.
Yeah. The weird comment says sinister to me. Like,
I don't mean
creepy.
to scare you. I'm sure you've looked up his arrest record and have seen his face, but like that's what's scary too, is he had glasses on and a face covering. So like,
what does face covering mean? Like face mask, like COVID face mask, or
I'm
like
assuming, or like those like things you like pull up.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, like just not knowing what he looks like. He's talking, but through that, so you can't even like see his expression or anything. Like, no. How do you burst through a door?
I mean, shoulder. Go shoulder first.
But imagine thinking like he just slammed on the door and you turn and then he's there and your door's just like
it's scary enough. Like thinking you have to like interact with someone on the other side of the door. I mean, I remember being a kid and like people knocking on the door and I would drop to the floor. Like I didn't want to interact or talk to them. I couldn't imagine just turning the corner and him being inside.
Thank God you called the cops.
Seriously. I think I just want to give you credit. I feel like you handled that very well. Like she was thinking so clearly. She used her phone, the like camera, like she was pretending to look at herself. The way that she reached for the knife. Pretending like she had a gun and kicking the washing machine. So smart.
I would have died at jumping the fence.
I mean,
he would have caught me right there. I can't jump the fence.
Even thinking clearly, like, oh, my fence goes against this alleyway. I can turn this way. I feel like they say you're fight or flight. I fear I might be flight.
I'm fight. I'm just not athletic enough to jump over a fence. So I think that's where I would have died.
I think my brain would shut down.
Yeah.
I don't know that I can think that clearly. It's terrifying.
Oof. Yeah. I'm so glad you're alive. Thank you for sharing that story. I will be having nightmares about it.
Yeah.
And I'll never take a bus. Ever.
Can't catch us on a bus. Okay, well, that was a AP?
AP.
Alive perp?
Yep.
We're going to be shifting.
DP? Crap.
Okay. This one is titled... this is something I think we mentioned last year that we said we wanted to hear about, like the crazy workplaces that you've worked at that
Oh,
were
yeah, because
spooky?
we had that one where, remember that one with the girl? What was her name? Cindy.
Mandy knows.
We shouldn't have called her name. We just summoned her.
That one had us asking you guys for creepy work situations or like workplaces that you've worked at that were super spooky. So this is one of those. This one is titled The Haunted Mansion That I Worked At for 3 Years.
Ew.
Also, she attached photos. I'm going to ask for permission to post them. I
yeah.
am assuming we can, because it's not like
But if it's like a
place that she lives
person's
at. But
house.
like, I want to make sure.
Yeah.
But if we do get the approval, I will post them.
Okay. Oof.
All right, let's dive in. Hello, ladies. Happy spooky season. First off, I am a huge fan of the pod and love you guys. Fun fact, I am the same person who wrote in the scary episode about the haunted dolls my friend had.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember
So she's
that
been
one.
picked twice, which
Love that for you.
that just makes me sad that you've had multiple scary things happen in your life.
True that.
She continues, I was so excited when you read my story on the podcast. And she got chosen again. That's crazy.
That's wild.
Okay, now for the story. To set the scene, me and my brother were both in school looking for a job. He was attending community college and I was in my last year of high school. We both were in desperate need of a job and were willing to pretty much work anywhere. She has in parentheses, mistake number 1. One day after school, I was rambling to my mom about how I couldn't find a job and how hard it was to get hired. She then told me her close friend was looking for a few more staff members to hire. I quickly reached out to her friend, and me and my brother both got hired for the job immediately.
It's their mom's fault.
Yeah. Thanks a lot,
Thanks a lot, Mom. You couldn't have had, You couldn't have had connections at like Del Taco.
I know. So like McDonald's? What's going on? Okay. Let me pull it together. The job was in food service. We would help prepare food, serve food, and clean and bus and wash dishes. Pretty easy, right? That's what we thought at the time. The twist was that the job was at a mansion, a historical mansion. In fact, it was well known to be haunted.
Nope.
Here are some pictures, and they are, it's a beautiful estate. It's massive.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's very much like out of a,
Yeah, that's crazy. Very like Bridgerton vibes.
very Bridgerton vibes. To paint a picture, it's like big red brick. It has the vaulted ceilings. It's like right in front of a pond/lake. It has a giant library. It's massive, probably like a 10-bedroom, 12, who knows? It definitely has a west wing.
Yeah, has a west wing.
It has wings. That should tell you enough. Okay, so she continues. Creepy, right? So essentially, we would help prepare the foods and cater to large events or weddings that would take place at this mansion. It was beautiful during the day, but at night, it was terrifying. So it's our first day on the job. We clock in and we're getting our full tour of the place. Me and my brother are looking at each other in awe because of how beautiful this place was. It had a grand foyer, massive courtyard, huge bedrooms, massive paintings, everything you could imagine. Then we get shown where we'll be working. The tour guide leads us down some creaky stairs and our smiles fade. In the basement is where the kitchen was.
No.
There were no windows, and it was very dark and very big. There were random doors and hallways that led to dead ends. It was like an actual maze down there. We didn't have much time to process this before we had to get to work because there was a wedding that evening, and we would be serving the food for it. There were only 3 other employees there, which meant we were very understaffed to be serving large amounts of people. They giggled and muttered under their voice, I wonder how long these 2 are going to last. I was trying to get to know the other employees a little bit better, and they warned me not to wander off alone.
Okay. How many red flags do we need?
I'm picturing like these, like the workers being like old, decrepit, just like kind of creepy looking. That's what I'm envisioning in my head.
Yeah, like they listen to like hardcore music and love interacting with spirits. So like that's why they've lasted so long.
They may have done some, yeah. They're friends with them. I asked why they would say that, and they didn't want to explain.
Of course they didn't.
The night went on, and we did our job. After the party's dinner, most of the people attending went outside to dance and go to the outdoor bar. That is when we would start bussing the tables. There was only one guest left, and I asked if she was done with her plate. She looked weird. She was very pale, and she was wearing white gloves. She looked at me and said nothing, so I assumed that she wasn't finished, and I walked away. 30 minutes goes by, and we're pretty much done, except I noticed the lady is still sitting at her table. But I was eager to go home, so I boldly walked up and asked if she was finished with her plate because there was no food left on it. And all she said was, "You must be new here." And I wasn't sure how to respond. I think I responded with something like, "Yes, haha." I turned around for 3 seconds to walk away. When I turned around again, she was gone. I was so confused because I had no idea where she could have possibly gone where I wouldn't have noticed. There's nowhere for her to run off somewhere and me to not see or hear her. I tried not to think much of it, and I finished working for that night and eventually went home. The next time I came in for my shift, I came in about 30 minutes early. I decided to go inside and wait. I was sitting in front of the room of the mansion and I saw the tour guide. She asked me how I was liking the job and I responded that I quite enjoyed it. She asked if I wanted to go see all the guest rooms and I said yes because, I'm nosy. She shows me each room and at the end of the hallway she says, "This is the lady in white. It's her room." And I respond with, "Excuse me?" She laughs and said, "A lady in white has been spotted and is believed to be a guest at this mansion from long ago. It has been said that she is photographed in some old photos of the mansion's guests. Her spirit has been seen in the guest room where she stayed, where she puts on her gloves and hat, and we've also spotted her by the pond."
I knew it.
Because you remember how I mentioned there was a big pond in front of the house? She's also been heard walking up and down the stairs. "Oh, great," I respond with. Time goes on eventually. I have been working there for about a year. Strange things would happen. Things would be misplaced. I would hear noises. I would hear talking, but that was pretty normal by now. One of my shifts I was called in early for, I walk in and I see my boss. She starts telling me something that had occurred that morning. She had been prepping food when out of nowhere she starts hearing kids laughing. She had enough of it and yelled, "Stop," as loud as she possibly could, and I guess they respected her and stopped. Another situation happened that still scares me to this day. At the end of the night, one person has to take out the trash, which for me means gathering a bunch of large bags and dragging them about a half mile in the dark alone and then sprinting back to the mansion because I'm scared shitless.
Absolutely not. I'm telling you right now, that could not be me.
This night, unfortunately, it was my turn to do the trash. Typically, I would convince my brother when we would work together to take the trash out for me, but he could not be convinced this time, so it was definitely my turn. It was 11:30 p.m. when I started the trek to the dumpster. I walked down the creaky stairs through the hallways, out the double doors, entrance into the basement. These double doors are old. They have a manual latch lock, which means they don't lock automatically, obviously. And everyone was upstairs busting tables and helping with the event, so I was all alone in the basement. It was times like this that I wanted to quit. I walk out the doors and start the journey. During this time is when I would play worship music.
Literally.
I would be like, "God wonders beyond
literally.
at the top of my lungs.
Oh my gosh.
Of course, the dumpsters are practically in the middle of the woods, which is why I just couldn't drive them. Otherwise, I would have. Finally, I chuck the bags in the dumpster and start sprinting. This is the point in time where I normally pretend I'm in the last leg of a marathon or I'm getting chased by a bear, and it works. As I'm wheezing because I'm so out of breath, I go to open the double doors and they're locked. No one was in the basement or is in the basement, and all of the lights are off. I tried calling my brother on the phone and it wouldn't go through. It kept saying call failed. I texted him and it says not delivered. Eventually, he finally calls me because they're all looking for me. I told him I was locked outside and I was pretty mad because I thought one of the staff members had locked the door. They all tell me that they weren't downstairs. They were upstairs helping with the event. Nobody was in the basement.
No.
A different night, we were finishing up our work for a wedding. I started to chat with the photographer. We go on about how gorgeous the wedding was, how good the couple looked. He was so proud of the pictures he took and started showing me a preview. This one picture in particular that he showed me was of the bridal party getting ready. It was all the bridesmaids doing their makeup in the mirror. And that's when I saw something weird. I asked if he could zoom in to the mirror. He zooms in, and all we can see is a white glove. The lady in white was in the room with them while they were getting ready.
Dude, because mirrors. You know what they say, mirrors. You know what they say about mirrors.
Me and him both looked at each other in shock and horror, coming to the same conclusion. So did I get locked out by the white lady?
Yes.
Was she the only ghost? I don't know, but not long after that, I quit, and so did my brother.
The fact that you made it past a year is
honestly
wild to me.
Honestly.
Wait a second. Can ghosts eat?
I mean, no.
Because she said she came to check on her, and then when she came back, her plate was empty.
Finished. Maybe she just grabbed it and tossed it. Just playing the part. Or maybe they can. We don't know. How could we?
Both of us just thinking.
I'm just like picturing this like old tattered white glove in the mirror.
Oh no. No, hard pass.
Yikes. Ugh.
Wait, is that it? Did
Yeah.
you finish?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank God.
Yep. She put, I hope you enjoyed. Have a good spooky season. The fact that you even considered working there. Like, I feel like if I was, you know, even desperate for a job, if someone was like, yeah, it's this mansion and it's haunted, I don't think I could do it. I'd be like, I'll starve.
Yes. And like her second day, she has a conversation with this pale
a
ghost lady who's like, you must be new here. No.
The creepy staff. No.
Literally on my tour, if they were like, oh, it's known to be haunted, I would say bye.
Yeah,
then
gotta go.
If they showed me how far the trash cans were and said I'd have to be dragging that at night, I'd say bye.
Yeah. Yeah. You couldn't pay me to go work someplace, stay in some place where it's well known to be haunted. Like it's just like this common knowledge thing. Absolutely not. Absolutely not in the name of Jesus. No. No.
Dear Jesus, protect everyone listening to this. Cover us with your angels in your precious name, amen.
Hate it here. Well, we did it.
We made it through the first episode.
Our first episode. Guys, if you want your scary story read, guess what you have to do? You have to write it in.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've said it 100 times. I'm going to say it 101. You need to write in your scary story. If it's your uncle's scary story, your friend's scary story, your coworker's scary story, if you worked in a haunted mansion. Not the Disneyland one. Or what if you did work at the Disneyland one and
yeah, but they probably have fun
happen
ghosts.
there.
They have fun ghosts,
Yeah,
right?
They do have fun ghosts.
Right.
Send in your stories because now is the time. Again, a friendly reminder, we are reading scary stories on Supercast, and it's definitely worth the $5. Just like don't have your Starbucks for the day. Okay?
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor and get yourself more scary stories.
Yep.
We'll be reading them there as well. And stay safe out there.
Stay safe. I will end us with a Halloween dad joke.
Perfect. I guess you should have said that first before I started.
Nah, I mean, that's fine. Why did the vampire need mouthwash? Because he had bad breath. Get it? Bat breath?
Bat breath.
Bat breath.
Got it. Guys, if you made it to the dad joke, you already know the drill. We love you the most, sis. Stay safe out there. Send us scary stories. And tell your dad to not send you flowers in the middle of the night by leaving them in your car.
I love that that's your message you took from
Tell your dad.
everything.
Tell your dad to knock
Learn
him
how
out.
to jump fences.
Learn how to jump fences. Always scare people off by saying you have a gun and kicking the washing machine.
The washing machine.
She's I love how smart she was.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's all. Don't work at haunted mansions.
We love you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.
Bye.